Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're uncovering one of the most dramatic moments in tech history, when Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple, was fired from his own company. How did this happen? And how did Jobs turn this setback into one of the greatest comebacks of all time? Let's dive into the full story. Steve Jobs, along with Steve Wozniak, founded Apple in 1976 with the vision of making computers accessible to everyone. Their first product, the Apple I, was built in Jobs' parents' garage. The success of the Apple II, which became the first mass-market personal computer, put Apple on the map. By the early 1980s, Jobs was a rising star in the tech world. In 1983, Jobs made a bold move by recruiting John Sculley, the president of Pepsi, to be Apple's CEO. Initially, they worked well together, but as time went on, their visions for Apple's future began to diverge. Jobs was passionate about pushing the envelope with innovative products, while Sculley was more concerned with stability and profitability. These clashing perspectives created significant tension between the two. In 1984, Apple launched the Macintosh with a now legendary Super Bowl commercial directed by Ridley Scott. The Mac was a revolutionary product, featuring a graphical user interface and a mouse, which was groundbreaking at the time. However, despite the hype, the Macintosh struggled in the market due to its high price and limited software. The commercial was a cultural phenomenon, but the product itself faced significant challenges. Sales were lower than expected, and the Macintosh's limitations put pressure on Jobs, who had been the driving force behind the project. This underperformance only fueled the growing tension between Jobs and Sculley. By 1985, the tension between Jobs and Sculley reached its peak. Jobs, frustrated with the direction Sculley was taking the company, attempted to stage a coup to remove Sculley from his role as CEO. However, the plan backfired when the board of directors sided with Sculley, leaving Jobs out in the cold. Jobs was stripped of his operational role and effectively pushed out of the company he had built from the ground up. It was a humiliating and public defeat for one of the most influential figures in tech. After Jobs' departure, Sculley remained at the helm of Apple. Initially, the company continued to grow, but by the early 1990s, Apple began to face significant challenges. Sculley's conservative strategies and a series of product missteps led to declining sales. By 1993, Sculley himself was forced out of Apple due to these issues, marking the end of his tenure at the company. Meanwhile, after being ousted from Apple, Jobs didn't stay down for long. He founded Next, a company focused on creating high-end computers for the education and business markets. Around the same time, Jobs acquired a small animation studio called Pixar, which would go on to revolutionize the film industry with the release of Toy Story. While Next was not a commercial success, its technology laid the foundation for Apple's future. In 1997, Apple, struggling without Jobs' visionary leadership, acquired Next, bringing Jobs back to the company. This acquisition was the turning point that led to Apple's resurgence, with Next software forming the basis for what would become macOS. Steve Jobs' firing from Apple is more than just a dramatic moment in tech history. It's a powerful lesson in resilience, innovation, and the importance of staying true to your vision. Despite the setback, Jobs never lost sight of what he wanted to achieve, and his journey from failure to triumph is a testament to the power of perseverance. In the end, what seemed like a devastating loss turned out to be the best thing that could have happened to Jobs. It gave him the freedom to explore new ventures and ultimately return to Apple stronger and more focused than ever. His story reminds us that sometimes the biggest challenges in life can lead to the greatest successes. Steve Jobs' journey from being fired to returning and transforming Apple into one of the most valuable companies in the world is nothing short of legendary. His story is a reminder that failure isn't the end. It's just the beginning of a new chapter. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into tech history, and click the bell icon to be notified of our latest videos.